because this video is not there. Yeah. So
What's the exact purpose of the translator?
okay. So first of all, we are using this translation workbench to translate to show application in different languages. Okay, that's the
Okay.
that's the that that thing you can manage in translation workbench. Who are translators? Translators are the people who have permission to update the values. I will show that option to you in this translation. Right, you
Okay.
can give values for suppose the leads. Right, in Danish, if the leads is called as Elids, okay, then you will
Okay.
write appropriate different language and coding in. For suppose if you're translating leads in Hindi, so you get some
Okay.
name, right? Some name. You automatically put your Hindi letters in that name. You write the translation for leads. It
Okay.
automatically when a person from India is logging into the application, it automatically see the name, the leads name in their Hindi language here. Salesforce cannot for standard options. Salesforce can translate into different languages. They have done the translations. You don't need to write it. But still, if some users don't want to use the translation given by Salesforce, if they want to do on their own, they have to create the appropriate name what they want to use. I'll show that options to you. Okay, these are the people who have that permission. I'm assigning them as a translators for English. These two people. For
Okay.
German language, I'm assigning these two people. For Spanish, I'm assigning
Okay.
this many people. Okay.
Okay.
Now this all these people can modify the Spanish translations in their application.
Okay.
I simply enable the simply language by clicking by adding. I can enable the language in this organization.
Yeah.
So I'm selecting a language called Swedish. I'm making it as active, and I'm pulling these two people as translators. I'm clicking on save.
Okay.
This is how you can add translators and I can even enable languages in this system. Now we have the Swedish also. That's here. And again, we are coming to the next component called translate. This is important component where you are going to translate. For suppose you have many components in Salesforce. Tab is a component. Okay, I will show that option to you. If I'm opening customer object, if I'm opening any record, there are many things, right? Customer
Yes.
name is the same name is here. Again, if I'm opening any record called customer name, see for home, for contacts, all this stuff, Salesforce have already given the translations. So again, for suppose reports have two synonyms in Hindi language.
Okay.
If Salesforce have given first synonym, if you don't want to use that, if you want to use the similar name but some different thing, you can replace that by using translate option. I'll show that option to you.
Okay.
I'm clicking on customers. These are all components. See, these are all labels, right? If I'm showing this thing
Yeah.
to a person who don't know English, he can't recognize anything. What is
Yeah.
customer name? You don't know anything. You can't read this. So if I want to modify these labels also, this the information, all this stuff, even for each and every object, I can do that options inside translations on this.
Okay.
For suppose I want to translate to Swedish now. That's what I do.
Okay.
Right? I'm clicking Swedish, and what I want to translate. There are these many components what you can modify. You can modify address, country fields, address state, apex sharing reason also. For suppose there is a sharing rules, something you are doing, okay, a sharing thing, there is a reason for that. So when you are trying to display such reasons in English language, they can't, they don't know about that. So you have to use this. You can try.
Yeah.
There's no zero sharing rules in our system, zero apex sharings in our system. I'm not. So if there is anything, you can even. This is the value of that actual reason in English. You put the appropriate Swedish value here and out of date also. The out of date value when it's going to be expired because Some meaning, some words will be expired after some time. People will not
yeah,
use that. You can even put expire, out of date value, out of date time also. For suppose, as there is no components here, let's click on buttons and links. It opens all the buttons and links on the campaign object. See, if I'm selecting button and links, buttons and links are available in all the objects. Okay, so on the campaign object, it's the button. So for what on the customer object, there are some buttons. These are the buttons. There is no translation
okay,
for Swedish here. I will write it. See, save, cancel, edit button. This button Salesforce have already given that. I'm trying to
yeah,
translate for the buttons which are created by you, custom buttons. Okay, I will write some Swedish value like one thing. Go to translation workbench from billing. I'm selecting some value like Swedish. This is the meaning of Swedish. Okay, you might have some other names also. Okay,
yeah,
but I'll keep that value here. Clicking on save.
okay,
Now, whenever a person opening the Swedish language locally profile, he can see this name instead of billing on their button.
okay,
We have option to
yeah,
modify for all the components, for all the labels also. I'll show that option to you. See, I'm clicking on this custom fields. All the custom fields, you can see it here.
yeah,
For a customer object means these are all custom fields for the customer object. There are 17 fields, new fields, account history, active, create, contact. All these things I can put translations. It automatically shows that values there on that. I can even copy
yeah, I got
values also, right? See, I can copy this value. I can copy this value and I can even paste this also. For Chinese language, I will put this.
it. Okay,
Paste it, save it because this is Chinese
okay,
language. Whenever this guy is logging in place of number of days since last visit, it show this message there.
okay,
You're using custom translations and you can even um, put the synonyms also if they don't like it. Okay. Same way, these are all the components for these are all the components for which you can modify. You can modify the custom app name also. Buttons and labels I already showed you. Custom fields, custom report types also. You know what is report type? Data category
yeah,
also. These are names, category names. It's easy to create. Okay, if they have created some data categories, you can even replace that also with appropriate Spanish values or Chinese values for all the languages. If you are
yeah,
translating your organization to many languages, you have to do for all the things for all the languages.
okay,
Layout sections also. For suppose if you go to account object, there is a section called custom
yeah, I know,
account support. This is
yeah,
the custom section. I can even replace this also. I'm
yeah,
doing by custom fields. I can even replace this also. Um, so custom report types like lookup sections, even lookup filters.
yeah,
Also. When I'm filtering the records, there is error message. Okay, that message, information message. I can see this in messages also. I can translate because and pick list values also
yeah,
beside values. I
yeah,
can translate. For account object, these are two pick list values. If I click on expand, this is the product family pick list value. If there are 10 values, again, yes, you have option to modify for 10 people.
yeah,
No values here. Give me a second. Yeah, this is the status, right?
Yeah.
Status, these are the pick list values.
Yes.
I can put each and every value. I can put appropriate Hindi name or Chinese name according to the language. In the current scenario, I have to put Swedish names for installed,
Yeah.
observed, purchased, registered, and shipped. And coming down to mm, record types, also you can modify. Whenever you're clicking on new account, you have option to select one or two
The
record
record.
types. I can even change the language of that also. Business account, a big account, I will be modifying it to. In Hindi, I can say some bada account like that.
Yeah.
Record types as controls. Again, this concept is not means it's not this is expired in Salesforce, but still they support the people who are presently using this also. If
Okay.
you got the organization from Salesforce before 2009, yes, we have as controls in that. You can still use them, those who are already using it. But people who took organization recently, they cannot use this as controls because Salesforce have stopped the support of that and they are using VF pages. Again, if
Yeah.
as controls also, you can modify in the same way. It's not the rocket science, okay? Solution categories also names you can modify. This is a simple thing. If you have solution categories, it shows a list of all the categories here. These are simply names. Okay, you can modify the particular solution category names. Salesforce standard field help. Um, on the campaign object, I can. This is standard field. For suppose if I'm selecting customer object, or not this. Clicking on participant. So what happens, right? There are some help texts on the standard fields.
Okay.
So if I'm selecting account object, only one field is using help text. For suppose, uh, what is help text? There is a question mark, right? If I'm putting my cursor there, it shows the help text. What you have given while you're creating the field. Okay,
Yeah.
I can modify the message also with this standard field help. Okay, and validation
Yeah. I got.
because you have created four validation rules where you have given your
Okay.
own custom error messages. In that case, also you have to modify
Okay.
it also, right? I can
Yeah.
use all see for suppose if I'm selecting customer, there are these messages. You know about this.
Yeah. I can message for that.
This I can translate into the Swedish language. And again, why I'm only seeing three things means there are only
Because there are only values on
yeah
those three.
have validation rules only on these three objects in the current organization. And web tabs, these are the web tabs which I am using inside my Salesforce. I can even translate them also into different languages. Web tab.
Okay.
There are three type of tabs: custom tabs, VF tabs, web tabs. Web tabs you can integrate with third-party URLs. For suppose if I want to include a Google map inside my system, I will create a web tab with googlemaps.com,
Okay.
right? So I can even translate that web tabs also. See, Venkatji is a web tab which will point to my website. When I click on that, if you click on all tabs, you can see that.
Yeah.
Workflow task. So when you are creating a task, you are assigning some value. Hey, please follow up. Like for suppose follow up. Please demo him about this. This is a letter in English, right? You are asking the person to do this task. So
Yes.
I have an option to modify that language also. So appropriate language, the sentence language. Copy the sentence in English here. Paste in your translation workbench. It automatically shows the appropriate big string for that appropriate message. Copy that and paste in your Salesforce system. the appropriate values.
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
simple. Just simply see, right click here. You can write whatever you want to, or you can copy paste also. Click on save. That will be saved.
okay,
And this is how you can translate. This is the long
yeah,
what you are selecting again. Now you have done everything for Swedish. If you want to do it for Chinese, select on Chinese
yeah,
and going to the fields. I'll show a few things which I have done in the previous classes. On the account object, I am selecting else customer object. No, customer object. This is also dummy customer. Okay, this customer object. Yeah, it's in this. Now, what is active in Chinese? I will show this simple thing. This is called active in Chinese. Okay, I'm copying this value into this active checkbox, paste here, click on save.
yeah,
That's done. So I will show you how things look in the back end when I'm changing these things. So I will show you how things look like for the Chinese guy. Go to users, click on your user profile. This is my profile. I'm clicking on my profile only. I'm modifying it because I want to show you a very quick demo how it changes when I'm
okay,
changing my language. I'm changing my language to Chinese. The change is this. Click on this and click on save. See, now my application is completely changed into Chinese language. Why few things are not changed? The data is not changed because you don't know the translation for Bharati or Chandra.
yeah,
Okay? The data also you can see if a Japanese guy or Chinese guy is entering the data, he will enter in with Chinese keyboard and he will enter the Chinese data. Now he can see only the
yeah,
Chinese data. The input it will take all the characters. It supports all the localization. Okay, but for supporting this very properly, you have to ask Salesforce. You have to intimate them, saying, "Hey, we want to use the we want to save the Chinese data also in the system backend." This is the front end. Okay, this is the metadata, right? We created ourselves. The hello world is a custom tab. Salesforce don't know what to translate into hello world. That is the reason they left it. We have to do on our own.
yeah,
This tab.
okay,
The data I'm not going to talk about the data. The user have ability to enter the data in any language. I can even create an account also in your system. Create a new account in your system with some Chinese value. It saves into the system. It won't show any problem. Got it. So every option is changed into Chinese language. And I don't want to go to
yeah,
other screen. I am clicking on back. I can go back to my English language and I click on save. So when you are modifying means according to the language information or local information, there is one more locally also, right?
yeah,
Automatically show the language for the users. Again, there are some people in China, still they need English. Okay, then yes, I can modify the language equal to English for them. Got it? This is how you can work on translation workbench and override. So if you there are some values where you can means you can let's select app package. So these are apps created by third party vendors which they have given their own translations. If you want to override means override the means the names. Okay, so these are all the actions in that package. Okay, so if I want to override that values I have to use this. This is only available for I'm only showing the manager packages which is installed in my system. Okay, this
okay,
app is not controllable by me, but I have an option to change the even these values also translations from my override option. Okay.
Yeah, I got it, bro.
Okay. And coming down to export, I can export all the
Is
translation. Yeah, it will be exported as in terms of Excel format with all the language files, language field names, appropriate language files, all this stuff. Okay, and see, so I can click on see source produces an STF file that contains all the texts that is translatable. Untranslated values you can export me so that I can translate the untranslated values. Bilingual set of files by language that contains all the text that is translatable. This is a simple export where the translators can export for their and they can import it again. Coming down to import, okay, the STF files what you have exported or things you have created on your own can be imported directly from here so that you can, in a single step, I can update all the translations. Because if you hire a translator which you don't know about Salesforce, you generally give him a SRT file. Okay, that with that file he will update all the translations, appropriate names he will put it, and he will give back to us. We will upload that file here by clicking on choose file and import. It automatically does updates for all this all our translations. Okay, communication templates you have done, data management you have done, mobile administration, yes, have we don't need this. Before Salesforce 1 you need this thing, but now most people are not most people are using Salesforce One. That's a new mobile app by Salesforce. You can also install that app in your mobile phone, any phone.
I
Search
had it in my phone.
in your app store. You can install it.
Yeah, I had.
Yeah. So you can put down your username and password, which you have taken from your developer login. Okay, so that you can try logging into the application.
Yeah,
So what all the apps, objects,
yeah.
what you're creating in that in your backend, it will be automatically shown in this mobile application. So they are simplifying the mobile access. They are giving access for all the
I
people.
had a doubt.
Yeah.
If I created some campaigns or accounts in my mobile app, that is Salesforce one,
Mhm.
uh, will be visible in this app in
Exactly. So because you
in normal Salesforce?
exactly because you have logged in with your credentials. Our organization is different, right? You can see in your organization, you can see the data. So that's what, right? Salesforce give you ability to search, to view, to even create records from anywhere from your mobile because it's connected cloud, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so before Salesforce one, we are using Salesforce Classic. This is a little older mobile application. It looks like a simple little old UI with some account tile box. And so if this is a mobile screen, right? Accounts, contacts, opportunities like that, it will be there. If you click on that icon, it opens the account. That type of option is there. This is used by few customers, but Salesforce Classic. Now most people are switching. Everyone is switching to Salesforce One. Okay, and desktop administration. So these are third-party means desktop tools, Outlook configurations. If I'm clicking on this, if you install Outlook, Salesforce for Outlook in your Outlook plugin, so what is the way of sync? You can decide it here. Two-way sync or one-way sync, everything you can decide it here. See, Outlook can only be useful to sync contacts, events, and tasks. Right? In your email, you have a contact, you have calendar events, you have tasks also. So these objects are also available in Salesforce. That is the reason if you are essentially Outlook user, you can integrate your thing with your Salesforce. Now, contacts two-way sync. Outlook always means Outlook is the priority. Events always sync both the ways. Outlook means Outlook is the primary master data. If there's a new updated value inside Outlook, it overwrites the Salesforce data with Outlook value. Okay. If there are two values in the same system with the same email account, if the first name is changed in the Outlook, What happens? Salesforce won't override Outlook data. Outlook will override Salesforce data. You can mention the conflict behavior by clicking on edit. I can control that. I can say Salesforce always wins means
Okay.
Salesforce data is master data. See
Okay.
what we have to sync. Don't sync Outlook to Salesforce, Salesforce to Outlook, both ways. These are the options, and
Okay.
conflict behavior also have to set for these three objects for contacts, events, and tasks. Okay. So
Okay.
this is the configuration in the backend which automatically affects your syncing between your Outlook and Salesforce. On offline briefcase, so this is a tool which I said where you, when you are traveling remotely, you will install this application in your desktop and you will sync all the data, what all you want, and so for that you have to create a configuration. What data you have to sync, it's mentioned here. This is the Outlook briefcase name. Who can use this briefcase? Venkat. Okay, and what is the data set? I have to click on edit. I have to, what is data sets? If I want to sync accounts, contacts, and opportunities, I'm going to add these three things inside data set by clicking on add.
Okay.
Um, see, in this case, customer. Okay, so all records, arrows, I can even filter the records created by you. Like this, also I can show it. Okay, these are the filters because in the mobile application or desktop application, if you want to filter, yes, you can filter. Again, the option what you are seeing here, it's also very same for the Salesforce Classic configurations also. Salesforce Mobile Classic, I haven't explained to you. That is, as I said, it's old. That is also having the same thing. You have to create a mobile configuration for users, and I can add people to that. For suppose this mobile configuration can be used by Venkat and Harsha only, so that the other people cannot use this mobile classic. Okay, and after adding that users, you have to even put the data set, what all they can sync in their phone, because phone is having very small screen, what data it has to appear, how much data they can sync it. We have to mention everything in the data set. So for suppose I'm clicking on add one more time, I'm clicking on contacts. Courses also. Now my outlook, my offline app will also show this customers, plans, contacts, courses. See, when I'm
Okay.
selecting this, when I'm clicking on add, it shows the child objects of course, not the child objects, not the overall objects. That's the reason I'm selecting only getting only these two. If I'm selecting on this main thing, okay, add. Now you can get many things. Okay, sorry. So this is the overall data set. Click on add. Now you can add all the values here. I can add even um, foodie object also. Got it? I can. These are the filters.
Yeah, I got
Records. My users records. My users team records. The current users team records. None. Only search only. You cannot by default. You are not seeing any records. That's how you can create the data set. Means data what you can see in the offline application. I'm saying this same option is available for mobile administration in the Salesforce Classic also. These are the configurations you're gonna
it. Okay.
create. Okay, and finally, as this configuration is created for Venkat, I'm just checking how much data, approximate data, what he's going to sync. Okay, if I click on estimate data, it shows hey there is 2 MB of data. So I'm clicking on no limit. Click
Okay.
estimate data. It says this 4 GB of data. This is gonna sync. See, 39 records are in the system for these three objects. 15.2 KB is the data. That's what I'm going to show him. Okay, means this is for my administration assistance. If the data is too big, what I will do, I will decrease the data set by putting some limit on 100 records only, like this. That's it, guys. I'm jumping into the other call, and I can finally Charter Desktop. This is a really simple application like this, where you're gonna use only Charter, not any other objects. You can search for people, you can chat, you can put. It's like a social Facebook app on your phone. You can also install Salesforce Charter in your mobile phone also, and you can log in. So I can. This is my feed, and this is I mentions. This is my messages, friends and chat with people. So this is my private messages. This is my general charts. These are the groups. These are the updates for this application. This is a local app, okay, desktop application.
Okay.
This is no much thing, okay. You can also access the
So
same
what
in the browser also.
as a case or something you said?
What?
You said about another topic, web as a case or
Yeah, web trade, web to case.
something like that.
I will take another call, okay, which takes around 15 minutes for
Okay.
that. I have a call at 7 o'clock exactly. Okay. Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
I'll
Okay.
drop this and I will meet you at again at 9 o'clock. Okay. Or 8 o'clock is not.
Okay.
There is some other call going on. The time.
Okay.
I'll meet you again. Okay.
I think with that I will be
Yeah.
admin part,
Done
right?
with the content administration. Again, web to lead and web to case is a part of not the develop administrator. It's a part of developer concept. Okay. It's in the part of
Okay.
customization in the first option, the build. You can see this option inside this customize. It's available.
Okay.
I'll share